one, so I'm going to close this one. We're not going to deal with this one. This is the one we're working with, okay? So obviously this app is incredible. Your technical lead built it. It's amazing. I'm just kidding, it isn't. So we can do something. We can say add. Then we'll say I'll add a to-do. Okay, now if we show lists, we see I'll add a to-do. So right now, whenever our user ID right here, whenever our to-do is built, we don't have a user ID. So let's just go ahead and do that. So if we have a insert into to-dos, and we'll say user ID, and then the value is what? Just hard code as a 1. Fuck it, that'll be okay. That being said, now we need to have a user table. So how can we create a new user table here? Well, I'm going to advise you this is something that we do in professional software development. We're going to create a different file. And this file has a different responsibility. Its responsibility is to set up our database. So I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call it setup database.py. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom or to the top. I'm just going to copy this example right here because it has all the magical stuff that we need. And then we're just going to delete this one where we create a to-do database. So now the objective here was just to simplify our code in our to-dos.py. Yeah, I think I am. Yep. So the objective of extracting out this code into setup database.py is so that we can like consolidate our logic. Okay. So everything that has to do with setting up our database, we're gonna put in this file. Okay. So now we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna define some functions. We're gonna say def setup to-dos, and then we're gonna say def setup users, and at the very bottom we're just gonna call these functions setup users. Right now, if we run this, it's gonna throw an error. What error is it gonna throw? It's gonna complain about the indentation because we don't have anything in these function definitions, right? It's because we don't have anything inside of here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a pass. Okay, and we run it again. Right now it's complaining about setup users. Watch, it's about to complain about setup to-dos. Oops. I think it's because I need to do this one. Okay, so I think the complaint should go away. And they do in fact go away. So that's what the purpose of pass is. It's kind of like a placeholder to say like, hey, I'm gonna put some code here in just a moment. That being said, we're gonna go ahead and extract this code into our setup to-dos right there. And we're gonna make sure that this bad boy works correctly. Okay, I'm actually gonna copy all this down and I'm gonna paste it inside of here. And this is going to be for what? Yes, create table if not exists, users. And then users gonna have an email. They're gonna have a, I don't know, birth date. And that's gonna be date, I think. I hope that works. We're about to find out. Okay, that looks good. So now my expectation is that if I refresh the database right now, you see I don't have any setup users. I don't have any users, right? I don't have a users table, right? But inside this file, setup database.py, we have a function defined. We have two functions defined, and both of them are going to be called, one right after the other. And this is setting up our database. Okay. So now if we run this file again, or we run the file again. We don't see a complaint, and if we refresh our SQLite Explorer, we now see we have a users table. Okay. Additionally, since I'm God in this program, I don't want to only just produce a users table. I want me to be user number 1 every time. So I'm going to say, hey, let's just go ahead and define some SQL. We're going to say insert into users. We're going to say email, and then we're going to say values. That's a question. And copy this over here. Oops. Paste. So what's going inside of here? Yeah, exactly. Man, this guy gets me. Okay, so now we're going to run it again, and I expect, notice how right now, right, if we hit play on users, we don't see any users right here, right? We hit there. Oops. So we gotta have a birth date too. Birth date. I'm gonna say this is I don't know. I'm just gonna do a string right now. You should probably fuck man. How to do it? Date dot now. Date dot now. Do I need to import this? Okay, hold on. I forgot how to get this. Import date Python. Is it daytime? I don't remember the syntax. Okay, daytime. My bad. Okay, so we're gonna import this bad boy. Okay, so now it's gonna be daytime. Dot now. Please work. So I was just.
You got to hit daytime, or is it just that?
We got a complaint here. Why is this not working? Pip install datetime. Okay, so that worked, I think. Did that work?
No, you need to import datetime from datetime.
Import datetime from datetime.
Wait, from daytime, import daytime.
I don't remember, guys.
Is it that way around? Wait.
Okay, that seems to have gone away. Let's see if this works, okay? If this works correctly, we should see a user. Oops, I already ran that one. Okay, so we have a complaint here. It's because we tried to inject 2 values, but we only, did it for 2. Okay, so we don't have a complaint. So we pray. That means that God will have done this for us. I'm just kidding. God didn't do this. We did. With the help of the team. Good job, guys. Thank you. Bro, you guys help me out here. God didn't do this. We did that. Okay, so now we know that the reason why I'm showing you this is because this is a very common pattern, okay, to create a separate file and to set up your database. Why is this common? Because in a few minutes we're gonna be testing and we're gonna fuck up our database in a little bit and we're just gonna want to throw it away. Okay? So I'm gonna throw it away. And then if we do play again, we don't have any users. We don't even have a table called users yet. Okay? We refresh our database, we see that we have nothing in here. So how quickly can we set up all 2 tables and 1 user? How quickly is this possible? Well, since we set up we structured our project correctly and we created a file called setupdatabase.py, all we have to do now is execute that command. Now, my suspicion or my hypothesis is if I click refresh here, I should see 2 tables, and when one of those tables should have a user in it with the email of that Lloyd boy. I click refresh, I click users, I hit play. Now we have that data again. Obviously, this can be done the same for to-dos, right? So we're gonna copy this down here. We're gonna say, okay, we're gonna insert into to-dos. We're gonna say our body, and then it has a, I don't know, project ID, and it has a user ID. And this is called, once again, seeding. Okay, this is called seeding our database. So now whenever we inject this into our to-dos, we're gonna have, I don't know, we're gonna have first one is gonna be, what do we got to do every single?
It's a sensible thing to put if someone's.
So but what we have to, our to-do list every morning before we go to school. Okay, brush teeth. Right, brush teeth. And let's just say our project ID is, let's just say 1 for right now, and then our user ID is 1. Okay, because I brush my teeth every single morning. I don't know about you guys. Okay, so we're just hard coding it right now. Okay, we're just hard coding this right now. So then we're gonna say. After I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast, and after I'm done with that, I masturbate. It was just funny. I'm sorry, it was just funny, okay? And let's just say, put on clothes, okay? Put on clothes.
So you're with you at the time.
And it's trying to be funny, guys. Come on. Okay, so we get serious, okay? So we're gonna create 3 to-dos, okay? The objective here is so that we can quickly update our to-dos quickly, Like this happens a lot. Imagine if you have 40 different users that you always want to have play users that you can test with, right? Or play posts and stuff like that, right? So we're gonna delete it. I'm gonna run it again. Okay, God, please let us have some to-dos. And then we can see that we have some to-dos, okay? And you guys should be doing this a bunch of times. You guys should already do this. Why? Because this file right here, setup database.py, will sort of be like documentation for the structure of your database and like what you can do with it. Okay, does anyone have any questions?
So how do we then pull that lawyer boy into user ID?
What do you mean?
So at the moment user ID, you're hard coding one.
Okay.
I want to pass, I want to create that bridge essentially between one database and another.
So for example, this is all the same database. That's all gonna be looking at the same file. Inside of this code, you guys need to be querying. You guys need to be looking for stuff, right? So for
No, to-dos and I suppose it is the same database. What is tables within the database?
exactly.
Yeah.
Inside of here, you can still access the users. I guarantee it. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna show you something more amazing. I want you guys to copy this code and put it somewhere right now. That is an amazing piece of code. Freeze execution. Okay, what does this code do? Yeah. Exactly. This is just going to stop some code running until we tell it to continue running. So, watch this. This is what we got right here. We're going to throw this code in. Okay, and then we're going to define a variable. Inside of our main function, inside this try, we're going to find a variable called hello equals hi. And then below this import, we're going to find something called, I don't know, foo equals bar. Okay? Seems easy enough. So now we can do Python to-dos.py, and what's going to happen? The while loop will start running. Afterwards, our code will freeze execution on line 43, and then at that point, we can do a bunch of stuff. So now you can see that our code has frozen, right? And we can access this thing called hello right here. What if I hit enter right now? What should I see? I do in fact see hi. If I were to hit foo, what would I see?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's not defined. Because this line of execution for foo has not yet executed, thus we do not have a variable called foo yet when we are on line 43. Does that make sense, everyone? Right now we've frozen our execution on line 43 with this little code snippet right here, okay? And on line 38, this line has already executed, so we have a variable called hello, but line 46 has not executed yet, so we cannot use this variable called foo. This will become more useful later on when we build our APIs. Okay, I promise you guys, this thing is amazing. That being said, Ed said, what did he want? He said he wanted us to figure out how to connect our database, our users, right?
Yeah, so user logs in.
Okay, so
user then gets immediately put in.
So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna print what's your email, okay? What's your email? Then we're gonna get an input. And this is actually not going to be great now that I think about it, but whatever. Okay, so we're gonna get the user's input, and that's going to be email, right? And then afterwards, we're going to say SQL equals what? Select all. Select ID from users. From users. Users where ID like, I don't remember the syntax. Is this right? I don't think this is right. Where
What are you trying to do?
I want to find, oh yeah, that's right, email. Yes, thank you, hi. Where this right here? We're trying to find the user based on the email they give us. So now we need to execute this. So we're gonna say cursor dot execute our SQL, and then we're gonna inject that email, And then we can do cursor.fetch all. And we're gonna put that inside of something. We're gonna say magical thing from DB. Okay? And then next time we're just gonna print it. Let's just see what happens, okay? Magical thing from DB. Okay. So this code has gotten really ugly, but that's okay because we're just working as we go. Okay, so let's run it. So now you can see that it's waiting for us. I expect us to see what's your email first on line 38. Python 3. Todos.py. Okay, there we go. So we're getting asked for our email. If I type in .loyboy@gmail.com, will I find a number? Will I see a console log on line 48?
You should do, if that's similar enough.
Yes, we do. Sorta.
One.
Oh yeah, because we only got the ID. That's right. We only got the ID.
Yeah, so select start from.
Let's try this again. So now we're gonna type in .loyboy@gmail.hello. What will we get now, guys? What do we get?
Maybe your error will come through. I don't know, it's not there.
An empty array. So we did not find the user. So what is the next plausible course of action? What is the next thing we should be doing?
Send him an error message.
Creating a user. Either create a user. You could throw an error message. I don't know. You guys have fun with it. You guys decide what you guys want to do. But for me, no one's gonna play with this app pretty much. You know, like the truth is like there's a million to do apps in the world. No one's gonna play with it. I wanted to build it the way I wanted. So I just kind of didn't plan for that. But I want you guys to create the account. Okay, create the account if the user does not have one, and then whenever they make to-dos, then move forward with the application. Does that make sense, everyone? So here, I'm gonna type in my name. So I already have the email. Oh, it threw an error. How can I get the ID off of that thing? Is it 0? That Loyboy. So now you guys can see that that we have the 1 here. How come I can get that out?
You've got a number and an ID in your database.
Yes, because we've got the ID and the email, right? So we're gonna hit that Loyboy, and here's my number right here. Okay. So at what point do we need to? What do we need to do now?
Take that and plug that into your tasks to show the tasks that are currently related to that.
So right now we're looping, right? We're looping. We know where to get the user's ID. Just say user. Did I do it? User, and then this thing right here becomes user ID, right? So what is the next choice? Now we need to prompt them, right? We need to say, hey, what do you want to do? And what can we do here, guys? We can do user 0, 1. Now let's give a really sexy response, a prompt to our user. We're gonna actually include their email. So we do .loyboy@gmail.com. And now we can see that we gave a custom message to our user. For example, this is one of many things you can do when you have a user table. Obviously, you want to know many things about your users. So now we said, hey, .loyboy, what do you want to do? So I'm gonna do add. And at this point, is there any way to determine who created the to-do? Yes, we already have that user ID on line 48. So when we call add, let's go ahead and pass that in right here on line 53. And then when line 53 executes, it calls the function add, and then we have user ID here, right there. And then now we can inject that right here. Okay, so who here thinks this will work? Will this work? Okay, so I'm gonna delete my database and let's just see whether or not when we create it to do that this will work correctly. And I realize I gotta stop this. We're gonna refresh. Okay, we don't have this open. So now we're gonna say Python 3 to-dos. We're gonna enter our email. Oh my bad, this is not gonna work. Why?
You're not in that environment.
Yeah, we gotta run setup first. So we gotta source the environment, set up our, put on our shoes, go to work, and then we gotta do Python database. Oop, my bad. Setup. Okay, and now if that works correctly, we can open up our database. and we should have one user, right? So we look at our users. We have one user's ID of 1, and our to-dos. Right now we have user 1 has exactly 3 to-dos. So now let's do it one more time. We're gonna do Python todos.py. Then we do thatloyboy@gmail.com. And then they're gonna ask me what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna say, let's add a to-do. Okay, so now they're asking us what we want to do. So we'll say, demonstrate that adding a to-do will also incorporate my user ID. Okay, so if that worked correctly, the hypothesis is that we have 4 to-dos on the right. And most importantly for this demonstration, our user ID for this newest to-do, demonstrate that adding a to-do will also have a user ID. And this number is dynamically generated. It's generated based on the email that the user enters. Okay, it has to come from the email. So we hit play. We do have the to-do. And we also have the user ID. Do you have any questions? Okay, so that's a lot of work for you guys to do. Let's go ahead and just let you guys keep working.